So the thing I think I'm most looking forward to in the collaboration grant is having a chance to talk with people from other fields and other disciplines about what civics and civic media mean to them. It's such a large and sort of complex space that we really need to hear from people who have experience studying schools and studying urban settings and studying journalists and online cultures and politics, that we really need all those people sort of involved in the conversation about what civics and civic media is, so that we can understand how to collaborate across those fields and figure out what a future civic life might look like. I tend to study how designers of civic media systems think about the public, think about what public means to them. So I focus on designers of journalism tools, so technologists who design network technologies and software that are used in newsrooms or used online to help journalists do what they do. And I interview journalists, I interview software designers, I interview people who use these systems, and I try to understand how does all of that add up to some idea of what civic life looks like in the systems that they build. So the thing I'm hoping to sort of contribute to and play a role in the collaboration grant is bringing to these conversations some idea of how journalists understand online civic life and how designers of new journalism technologies think about the public and the public sphere. I've been interviewing designers of news apps, so these are things like Flipboard or CNN Zite or AOL Editions, and I've been interviewing those people along with a collaborator, Kate Crawford at Microsoft Research, and we've been trying to understand how do these people who design these applications see themselves as sort of part journalists, part software designers. We call them interstitial designers because they sit in between the traditional press and in between software design. So as an example, I think we try to understand how do they design algorithms that can deal with this large amount of information online, but how are these algorithms sort of have baked into them journalistic values or journalistic ideas about what the public could be. So for me, that's sort of one place where I see a lot of these questions around what civic life is starting to play out, is in studying these app designers. So one thing I'd like to understand from the people in other fields that we're working with in Collaboration Grant is how they understand civics as something that spans online spaces and offline spaces. Where do they see those connections between behaviors and actions that happen on the internet versus kinds of practices and activities that happen in offline settings? How do they understand that mix between offline and online in civic life?